see me on the Twitch stream as well. How's it going, Twitch? All right. So, like I said, yesterday was a little bit crazy. I was trying to do something different with this whole thing. I'm really trying to make it into more therapeutic, not only for me but for everyone else. I told you yesterday, and I've been telling you this a while, that I use music as my outlet as far as mental health goes, so that I don't sit here and drive myself crazy, ask myself questions of things that are out of my control, sit here and live in this world trying to get by, right? This has been true game changing for my brain, to allow me to release what is up in my brain, because my brain does spin sometimes. It does cause a lot of problems as far as like being able to grasp hold of thoughts and ideas and goals and structure and all this stuff. Like, that becomes very, very difficult for me at times. So, like I said, my wife and I had talked last night. Excuse me. And I appreciate her for this, because it was something that was bothering me. But she had told me, well, let me explain why. Because I was sitting there and I was like, yeah, I started my stream and it was going really well. But when I started to go and create, it was hard to focus on both things, right? Because I know you say, oh, people could get up on stream. You see producers all the time, they get on stream and they're making beats for you and all this other stuff. But for me, like I said, I'm using my music more as an outlet. Am I talented? Am I capable of doing that? Absolutely. But for the purpose of this stream and for the purpose of me, I like to make music as a release form. And by releasing, what I mean is I like to have my whole entire brain. I like to be focused on what I'm doing. I like to take myself and really dive myself right into into the emotion that I'm trying to portray. And really, allow that to be my form of release. Because I said I do it for therapy. And it was very difficult for me. It was very, very difficult for me. I was struggling to even grasp hold of things, because just as I would be getting, for instance, like the melody, sometimes the melody tells a lot in a song. Just as I was getting into the melody, I was like feeling it, and I was feeling the release, and I was trying not to fight the feeling, which is what I tend to do. I tend to fight things to the point where I'm altering what was supposed to happen. And I don't want that. The whole point of the release, the whole point of everything, is to make sure that I'm releasing what it is that's causing me the problem, causing me the tension. I want to release that into my music. That's why my music is always so like all over the place. I don't know if you've noticed, but if you haven't, now you should go back and listen to some of the older tracks and kind of go piece it together almost like a story, I guess. Like, it'll go together almost like a story, because that's just the way my brain is working. That's the way my brain is leading, into, my release. And yesterday I found it very difficult trying to do both, because I don't want to be rude. And I know when you're streaming, you want to make sure that you're interacting. And here I am, I got Twitch here and I got Instagram Live over here, right? So it's like, I need to be able to make sure that I'm paying attention to what people are saying as well. And that was the hard part for me. It was very difficult for me to sit there and get lost, per se, because I noticed myself closing my eyes a lot. I noticed myself like drifting off, and then I was forgetting to talk. I'm making funny faces. I mean, that's just what I do. I'm allowing what's going on up here to not be interfered by anything. I don't want anything to come in the way of me allowing my therapeutic release to happen. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm doing it for. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm not doing it for this. I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it for therapeutic release, to help others, to release what's going on in my brain, to maybe help others out there that might be dealing with the same thing. Help them find release. Help them find ways to, to see that they're not alone. They're not in this battle alone. There's a lot of people dealing with it, because I know it sucks being in that position. I've been in that position many, many, many times where I felt like I was alone in the battle. And it wasn't until, like I said, COVID happened that I was like, let's go ahead and, like really start tackling the brains. It's been long enough. It's been long enough for me dealing with all this crap for me. Now it's time to tackle it. Ain't getting any younger, right? So, yeah, my wife. So after hearing that, my wife during lunch, we have a conversation, and she heard me say that. Then she came up with this really great idea, and the great idea was to structure it a little bit different. So make the music, have the music made so that way I can do my therapeutic release in the style that I need for my body and my mind, and get that done, and then go stream and talk about that track. Let's talk about the issue. Talk about that particular track for that particular day that I made, and explain where I was, why this instrument does this, why this does that, why this blah, stuff like that. I feel like that structure would be a lot easier for me. I mean, let me know what you think. I think it's a great idea. I mean, I love it. It immediately released the pressure off of my brain yesterday when she had told me that. So I was very thankful for her for telling me that, because it saved me the hassle of having to research and really gather all my thoughts, because my mind was really going crazy about what I truly want to, do with this stream. I know it's small now, but eventually, hopefully, the right people keep coming across it, and eventually it'll get spread like a virus, and hopefully people will, come check it out and hang out and realize it's a safe place to chill, place to hang out, place to have fun. What's going on, man? Thanks for coming back. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So that's the main thing. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I have a track that I did sit down after I got off the stream and I did make. I called it Lysol. I've already bounced a part of it. It was only a 16 bar loop so far. Obviously needs to be arranged and all that other stuff into an actual song. But I just wanted to lay, that snippet, that the premise of the beat, so that way at least we have something to talk about. We have something to discuss. And then whenever I lay it out into a song, that's going to be a matter of making sure that I can lay that thought out in a process that's going to tell a story a little bit further and give you more detail. So, yeah. So I titled today's title, Bothered. That's something that I think that's what honestly took the track from yesterday that I was making, the Lysol track that I've got going on right now. Like I said, it's not 100% complete. There's probably still a little bit more, but as far as the general premise and the foundation of the track, as far as the way the sounds are laid out, the way they're positioned in the track, the way the beat, the drums hit, the bass, everything, the way I have it laid out as far as that goes in the 16 bars, it's pretty, that's where my mindset was. And I'm hoping that I can, be able to explain that and help you see that as well in the track. So that way you can kind of tell, hey, yeah, I can see what you mean by that. There's that emotion right there. I think that's a very interesting topic, which is why I wanted to discuss it today. I've been talking a lot with everyone, about the bothersome meter, I call it. Like it's I just can't believe how many things these days. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I come from the 80s, but I just don't remember seeing or hearing about so many things that bother people, that don't necessarily affect their lives, doesn't affect anything actually of their lives. It's more like a pride thing, it's like being prideful or something. I don't know. I don't know. I told you when I got back from Afghanistan as well, like I felt more grateful for things. So it was, maybe that has a lot to do with it, but when I look back at my childhood too, like I don't recall being so upset over such things what I consider small. I'm not trying to speak for anybody else. What's small to me could be huge to another, so I'm not going to try to even go in that direction. But the the main thing I want to get out of it is like just trying to figure out why there's so many things going on in the world, but to me, like, that's just my opinion. Like, there's a lot of things going on in the world, but the things that people are focusing on seem to just be the negative aspects, but there's a lot more other things that, they could be worrying about that could actually make change, for the good. But it's like, it seems like there's a lot of complaining about everything these days, just literally about everything. And it's like, why are we complaining about this when this is going on? Like, isn't that more important? Shouldn't we be focusing more time on and efforts on this? Because this would actually help. This would actually change some things. This right here, what you're doing right here, ain't doing nothing. You're just complaining, and you have all the rights, to complain. But I just don't. I don't know, man. Life's way too short, man. Life is short. Why waste it worrying about stuff that's out of your control? And I'm probably gonna butcher this saying that I got off of John, when he told me that book he was reading about the worth of man, or something like that. It's about holding yourself accountable, and it says you are the captain of your, you are the master of your own you're the master or captain of your own destiny, the master of your own fate, I think is what it said. And that's absolutely true, right? Like, you're in control of everything that goes on with you. You want to be in a bad mood, you choose to be in a bad mood, right? Like that's a choice that we make, because like I said yesterday about awareness, the minute you become aware of something, that's where you're at fault. You are accountable, right? Because you are aware now of choice A, choice B, right? You're aware that such and such made me mad, right? Now you have a choice, because you chose that emotion to allow it to make you mad. Your body identified it, your mind identified it as soon as that person said something or whatever. It just really hit you the wrong way. And now all of a sudden your skin's all standing up, your hair's all standing up, you're flared up, you're mad, you're angry. But at the same time, you are aware of that. You are aware it made you mad, right? Because you're reacting to it. So obviously you are aware, this made me mad. You're not smiling, you're mad. But now you know. So now you have a choice to make. You choose, either you can stay in that bad mood and remain there, and whatever comes out of it comes out of it, and that's your choice. You make the choice to be in that bad mood. But you can also choose to not let it affect you as bad, and then choose the other path. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like where I'm going with that. Like the bother. That's why the title's called Bother today. Like, it's like yesterday I was in a weird mode, and I don't know what it was. I felt positive in the morning. Don't get me wrong. I felt great. I woke up. I felt great, but little off schedule. Right? The schedule was weird. Me and my wife had both slept past our usual alarms. So it already felt kind of like, wake up, oh man, we're rushing, and nobody likes to do that. Nobody likes to wake up and rush. So it's very, very hard for anybody to admit the fact that they're sitting there having problems with, something, and that they have the choice whether or not to remain in that mode. And that's all I'm trying to get out of it. Like, why are things so bothersome for people? You know what I mean? Like, why do people get so bothered by things that do not even correlate with their lives, or does not change any outcome of their life, doesn't bring them anything but anger and madness and confusion and things that they can't control. And it's like, I just don't get it. He says you're the master of your own destiny, you're the captain of your own destiny, and the master of your own fate, right? So that's something you can take from this is try to remember that when you're about to do something. And he said we all have the right. We all have the right to get mad. We all have the right to get upset. That's fine. Do that. That's fine. I just don't. I was just trying to click in my head yesterday. I think there's a lot going on. I try to stay out of the news as much as possible. I try to stay out of all that stuff because I just don't want to cloud my brain. I've already got enough going on in my brain and my mental health to sit there and like cloud it with a bunch of other stuff that probably isn't going to do my brain any good. So I just stay away. I hear little things from people, that say something, and I'm like, okay, thanks for telling me. I'm glad I know that's going on, but I don't get so involved that I'm going to be sitting there, festering about it all day. I don't want to do that because again, like I could sit there. I have the choice. I does it make me cringe? Yeah, I'm upset, right? But now I'm aware of it, so I have to make that choice. I have to make that choice. I make that choice to stay in a bad mode, or I can go somewhere else, right? I can decide to take myself out of that and focus on other things in life, which is what I'm trying to do. But it does get difficult. But there's like so much going on in my life, so why would I want to? Why do I want to dig even deeper on something that I know in the end, the outcome is going to be nothing? There's going to be nothing changed towards my life. There's going to be nothing changed towards my brain. There's going to be nothing changed towards anything. There's nothing I'm going to get out of that. It's out of my control, right? That's not my destiny. That's not my fate. I'm the master and the captain of my own. That's not mine. So I choose in my life to focus on things that are going to affect my life. You know what I mean? And I just don't understand. Like yesterday was just one of those days where just people were around me getting very upset about things that I'm like, are you serious? Like you're upset about this? Like that makes you upset, huh? Like you're so upset about this one thing that you're not in control of. You're not in control of that fate or destiny. But yeah, you're mad. And now you're going to be mad at me because you're mad at this. And you're going to be mad around you're going to walk around all day being mad at everyone else. Because of that thing that you can't control, there ain't no way to live. So I've chosen to stay away from that. That's why I stay out of the news. That's why I try to stay out as much stuff as I possibly can that doesn't help me be my best self. Life's about all being your best self, presenting yourself as your best self towards everyone around you, and like just really like love yourself, man. Like I don't have time for all negative stuff. Like negative stuff really takes a toll on my brain. I don't know. I can't speak for other people, but I speak for myself just saying that my brain is already clustered. My brain already has so much going on. I'm constantly thinking. I'm a very avid thinker. I'm constantly always thinking of something, right? So which is why I have lack of sleep too. Like my brain just spins. And it's hard to just take one thought and grab the thought, do this, do that. That's extremely difficult. So the best thing for me to do in that kind of situation is again just surround myself around things, surround myself around people, whatever it may be, and just put myself in a mindset where I can be at peace with my thoughts and my things that could actually change the outcome of my journey, could actually change my path to success. Like that's my mission and my goal, since COVID is when I really started pursuing it real hard. But like I tried doing it before at once, but I wasn't really giving it the effort because again my brain wasn't tweaked right. So I needed to go inside my brain a little bit, tweak it, do that kind of thing, and see what happens. So, but yeah, enough about that. So that's pretty much the topic that we're talking about today. So we're talking about where I was yesterday when I made this track Lysol, and I'm gonna go ahead and play it. You heard a little bit when it was coming, whenever the stream was when the stream was coming on. So that's how. I don't know. Well, maybe it was playing at the stream for a little bit, but we'll try to go over it a little bit. Try to help you. My brain was, like I said, I was in a very weird wavelength yesterday. I had my boy Energy Never Dies, who I'm gonna try to help with his album as well. Like I just love that cat's energy. Like it's a good energy, and I just want to work with people like that, man. Like I would love to work with nobody more than that has like the same amount of energy, putting the same amount of effort in everything that we do, caring about the same philosophies, the same things. That's what it's about, man. and connecting with like-minded individuals, because at times sometimes it can feel like there's nobody left, but there's nobody that is like you, but there is. You just got to search for them. And sometimes they find you. You know what I mean? Sometimes people that are meant to meet, they just meet you, you end up meeting them somewhere. You don't know when the time is. You'll just end up meeting them, and you realize that there's still good people out there. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be a slow process, but once you find that person, like you say, keep them. Keep people like that near you. You know, that's the type of people that boost you up, motivate you, keep you going. All right, so let's enough talking. Let's play this track. So this is Lysol. It's like I said, it's just a 16 bar. That's all it is right now. I'll go through and I'm gonna probably add a little bit more to it maybe. Now that my mindset's a little bit different, but also maybe I might just separate it up a little bit, just split it up a little bit, you know, and it might already be completed once I do that. Once I lay it out and actually see the layout of how I want to lay that out to tell the story and portray it correctly, you know, it might just stay like that. So, all right, let's play this track and see where we're at. So I'm just gonna have the mic muted on the Twitch stream for a second, just so IG can hear, so you're not getting interfered with the speakers. Back on. So it's very interesting on this one because, like, I don't know, like I started messing with all those other ones, and I was, you know, working on the Kyle Beats contest and all that other stuff. Um, and it's still gonna do that, but like I said, it was in a very strange mood, man. After, I don't know if it was the heat or what, or just like I said, all the people that I was communicating with that were complaining about things, and I was just in one of those modes where you know, and I felt that the funny thing was is that I felt the same way whenever I got back from Afghanistan. I was acting like a pretty big prick about it. Like I was like, every time I saw somebody that was you know, complaining about something stupid, or they'd cut me off, or they'd be like speeding, you know, and I'm sitting here and almost wreck me off the road because they're in a rush, and just silly things, right? Like I'd be so mad. I'd get so mad every single time. Never fail. Uh, that's kind of how I felt yesterday, which is, now that I think about it, it's kind of how I felt. I was just irritated, right? Like every little tiny thing was irritating me. To me, it was like the smallest little irritation that would usually be very, very small, was causing so many issues. It was just making me just like I was bubbling. Now I didn't snap. I didn't get to a point where I was like so irate. I explained myself to everyone I came encounter with that experienced me acting, you know, different. So I told them, hey, just so you're aware, feel strange. Everything's aggravating me. I'm irritated. Like, so I think that was a good part on my part for making sure that I said something, you know, before I got to a point where you say something that you're gonna regret. But no, that's how that, came about. Like that whole track, that's where it led me. Because that was literally like right after, yeah, it was right after I got out of the heat. I was walking in the heat. It was a very hot day. It's been a very hot summer here in Florida. It always is. But it was very, very hot. Walking to go get the daughter. Um, Very, very hot. It was very uncomfortable when I got back in. I already felt strange, like I said, because the schedule started off kind of shaky in the morning. Um, but yeah, that's where I was at. So like, let's try to break this down. I'll try to break this down as best as I can to try to maybe we can depict the emotion in each part. All right, so I'll let y'all all listen to it. Like I said, I'll mute the mic on this end so that they can hear it as well. Already at the start of it, you can already kind of tell like there's just a lot of it's just a lot of aggression. There's definitely aggression there, um, irritability. It's just a lot of repetitive. There's a lot of repetitiveness as far as the bass hitting. Um, boom, 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 boom. If that makes sense, there's a lot of repetitiveness in there. So it's like, I feel like that's like as far as I'm concerned, the way it's laid out and the way my mind was released by the attitude and the mood I was in was just like it's a constant reminder, almost like someone knocking on your head, right? Like, boom, hey, they're telling you something. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, did you hear me? Boom, boom, boom. Hey, did you hear me? Kind of like that, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like it's really pounding it in. Like I said, I had a lot of complaints, just a lot of things going on with people around me that were just complaining about things that just really weren't stuff that I felt at the time or even something that should be worrying about so hard when I felt like, I don't know, it was just irritating. There's just way too many other things going on to be worried about, the silly things that it was coming across. So yeah, that's kind of like how I would portray the vision as far as how it even came to be, because that's how it honestly started. It all started with the 808. I don't usually start tracks with 808s, but when it comes to aggression, most of the time I usually go to I try to find the most distorted 808 I can find and then tweak it. And I try to make something more out of it. That's usually whenever I'm going for aggression or going for any kind of, anything that's trying to portray any kind of like fight music or just anything that you feel angry and mad and tempered. That's definitely where I was going as far as, that little section. So those first 4 bars. So let's go to the next 4 bars, which is whenever the melody really starts developing, comes in a little bit, as well as the drums. So this is when everything's introduced together and they kind of clash together. All right, so let's listen to this. I'm going to mute the mic again. It's 4 bars. So with that, yeah, sorry about that, Twitch. I didn't have the speakers turned on for IG. I had my sub was going, so all you heard was the sub on that first part, and I apologize. So I turned on my monitors. Like I said, old man mistake. That's that. We were talking about that yesterday about my age. Like my daughter's birthday, 5 year, 5-year-old birthday, fifth birthday yesterday, and I was already feeling old as it is. So a 16-year-old and 13-year-old. Everybody's getting so old. Niece in college, nephew in college. Like it's crazy, man. Getting old, feeling it. But yeah, that's So as everything gets introduced, as far as the melody starts blending in without the bass, obviously take out the 808, uh, to take away the heaviness. But as far as the way the drums are coming in and knocking, like it's a heavy hitter. It puts like a lot of emphasis on the snare and the kick, and really tries to, like, I don't know. I try to deliver more of an approach of, like, because the melody's kind of like, and it's like you're trying to just ease on through life, right? You're trying to just walk through the life, and then everybody just keeps on, knocking and trying to drill something into you when you're just trying to live. You know what I mean? And I called it Lysol. That's kind of a bitter name. Why I think I called it Lysol. Honestly, my beats get some weird names sometimes. I've tried to really get myself in the habit of, like, taking my thought process of what I was thinking that day and what was going on in my head and what was upsetting me, and I try to find a way to make one word that will summarize everything, or two words that will summarize everything that this track represents. Um, that could be tricky at times, but I've gotten to the part of just the first instinct that pops in my head when I'm listening to it is what goes. And Lysol was the one, and disinfectant, right? It's kind of like a it's kind of like a bitter way of a nice way of saying, like, I'm trying to disinfect the germs, right? I'm trying to disinfect the people that are bothered, that are calling me with all their problems and all these things that they're worried about so hard, and they're putting so much time and effort, that I feel their brain is infected with something because I'm confused, right? I'm confused by why these people are so bothered. Why are these people so bothered by what's going on? It's not affecting your destiny. It's not affecting your journey. Take your pride, push it down just a little bit, and think about it. Like, you're not in control. Nothing you say is going to do anything, right? It's all about doing, man. Like, is it going to do something for you? By you acting this way today, is it going to do something for you? Is it going to help better you in the future? Are you going to become something new, because of this? No. So why are you worried about it? Let me disinfect you. Are you okay? Are you infected? Are you infected with a virus or bacteria that I don't know about, some crazy form? So that's why the name Lysol came out. See, I told you my thought process, man. That's what it became, and I want to get some tracks over. I told Energy Never Dies yesterday. I said I want to try to get some tracks to him, and I told him I was going to cook up some fresh ones for him. But yesterday was a very flustered day. It was my daughter's birthday. It was a lot going on yesterday, so it was a pretty crazy day. And then being in that mode, being in the mood that I was in, definitely didn't help. Made the situation more aggravated for me. But hey, I made a track. I got to do what I set out to do. I still managed to survive. I kept my head on strong. I kept my head screwed on. Period. So that's the plus out of it, right? Like, it wanted some days that's just the way it is, right? Things will never be the same. It's just the way it is. I know y'all probably got that, but yeah, I heard Tupac today, man. That brought back some chills, and changes. But it's such a good, good track. Like that's still to this day. Like when I listen to it, like and I, put on some really good headphones and I just blare it loud. Tupac just really like his tracks were put together very beautifully. They were mastered well, like the vocals, everything, and it just sounds. It gave me goosebumps immediately. Like it was just the frequencies coming from it were very, very powerful. You could feel it, even the frequencies from his voice and the word choices, like so good. But that's enough of that. But yeah, that's pretty much how all that came about. I know this one's probably like I said, this is a try I told you I want to do. This is the platform, kind of like how I want to do this platform. Like I would love to be able to make music while still discussing mental health, while still making progress in myself. You guys can watch me go through my journey. You can see me and how I cope with things. I can help you. I can just be there for you. I'm just another ear. I'm just another ear that's in this world. You know what I mean? And then whether or not you watch this or not, like if people come in, I'm still gonna do it because I'm doing it for me and I'm doing it for you. Like this is I want to share this method and share this coping method that I do, and maybe in return it could open something up for somebody else that's struggling. Like that's what I hope. That's what I'm hopeful for. I'm just trying to show others out there like-minded like myself, and even if they're not like-minded, that there is still people out there that do care. There is still people out there that still love. There's you know this is a place for everyone to come to and just have a good time. And I'm gonna try to get to that making music. Maybe if we stop taking, maybe if I don't, I'll try to come on one time and not even do it as a release and just make some basic stuff. Just put some really, just put a beat together just for what it is, right? Maybe I'll get there. That's a journey. Maybe that's a goal I can set for myself. Maybe that's something I can do. I've always found it very difficult for me to do it when I'm using it as my form of release, right? Um, that's letting the natural talent just show, letting the natural emotions come out, letting everything just happen because it's supposed to happen, and not trying to interfere with that. I will work on that. That's going to be a goal of mine, is to be able to just come on here and just blam and just do it, right? But it's a process. Like I said, the brain is a process, so we'll get it there. We're not going to do quite as long as a stream as the past couple days. We did like 3 hours, I think, last time. Not going to do that this time. I wanted to keep this one short. Like I said, we're going to eventually get everything to where it needs to be. We're going to continue to do this. I'm going to continue to present myself out here, and eventually, hopefully, we see more than 1, 2, 3 people in there. Eventually, maybe we'll see a couple thousand, hundreds of thousands, millions of people tuned in, every day, every week. It'd be great. So, I've got my goals, I've got my missions. But until then, just make sure everyone, stays healthy. Remember, PMS, physical, mental, self, or physical, mental, spiritual. Take care of either one. So you keep your life in check. So you want to make sure you have all 3 of those in check, so that you're always in check with yourself, right? Keep yourself accountable, and good things will come your way. Till then, stay lifted, stay gifted. I love every last one of y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. I'm out.